The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Looking for a pair of shoes? Les Up Stores has a wide range of selection for unisex footwear. We have the best quality of all brands at pocket-friendly prices, and we make deliveries countrywide. Just place your order or reach us on 0772 08 0090. You can also check up at Les Up Stores on all our social media platforms. Les Up, craft your own footprints.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Lwakusatu ennaku z'omwezi tubala musanvu omwezi gwa February omwaka 2023. Mbabuuzaako Mighty Drive ye program gy'okiriddeko olunaku olwaleero. Nze omumbejja Luwedde Lilian era nga mu studios niwe omumbejja Farida Bikobere bwe tugenda okuba nga tutambuza programu eno okutuuka ku ssaawa 4 ez'akalasa amayanzi. Omugenyi waffe yamaze dda okuba nga twegattako amakya g'olunaku olwaleero. Tugenda kuba nga twogera ku nsonga za bulwadde obwa kkookolo, omukyala ono survivor era nga njogera ku mukyala Rusia Orikiriza, yes. Kansubire siryogedde bubi naye bwe naaba ndyogedde bubi munaye neetonda omugenyi ajja kuba nga alyongera okulitubuulira obulungi. Naye omukyala ono entrepreneur ine emirimu gye gyakwasaganya era nga ajja kuba nabyo byonna abitubuulira mu show yaffe y'olunaku olwaleero. Naye nsooka okwetonda olw'okutandikamu ekikeerezo olw'embeera emu oba endala etatusobosezza kutandikirawo, naye nga weetuli nnyo okusobola okulaba nga program tugikwasaganya bulungi nnyo. So gwe alina kyonna ky'oteesa oba alina ky'oyagala okwebuuza, omukyala agenda kuba nga tusharingira story ye butya bwe yasobola okuba nga asurvivinga. Tuwulira stories nnyingi nnyo ze tuwuliddeko ez'abamu abasobodde okusurvivinga. So naye story ye tugenda kuba tugiwulira olunaku olwaleero. Ye kiki kyali kiti, embeera yali etya era yayita mu kusoomoozebwa ki, obujjanjabi yabufuna bwe yabufuna wano ewaffe Uganda oba yabiteekamu ticket okugenda emitala w'amayanja okufuna obujjanjabi obulungi. So olugendo naawe tugenda okuba nga tulutambuliza, naye omumbejja Farida Bikobere kasooka lamuse kuba tulaba tuwene quote of the day endooza program tugisimbuliriza awo wennyini. Wasuuza otya mumbejja?
Alhamdulillah, ndi okay.
Ya Rabbi alamin.
Ekisinga obukulu nti nina obulamu. Ebirala byonna bijja kujja oluvannyuma. What is more important is that I'm alive. So ebirala byonna I can achieve it provided I have life. Amakya amalungi abatukeereddeko ku mpewo zaffe za The Alternative Dig Talk. Farida Bikobere gemanya ganga. I want to tell you we are live on Facebook. Today in the studios we have a guest who she's not well versed with Uganda. So we are going to do a 90% English and a 10% we shall be chipping in here and there with our Uganda, but she's very comfortable in English because twagala emboozi eno agijeyo bulungi. So for her to bring it out the way we want it to be, I'll be very comfortable in English. So we're going to have an English show. Nengeri mu Uganda here and there. Tesobola kubanga tukubye oluzungu 100%. Naddala ng'eno emboozi ekwatira ddala ku muntu wa wansi, emboozi ya byabulamu. Twagala tumanye olugendo olw'okubanga alwanagana ne cancer okuvaayo nga she's a survivor lwatandikira wa. Was the discovery late or early? Kyamuyambako okulaba nti alwanagana n'obulwadde buno. So ngenda kukubiriza nnyo mukwano beera ku kyotategedde mu comment section nga kibadde kya luzungu kiteekemu tukinyonyole mu Luganda sobola okubanga ate munnange gwaliko oyamba muno wandibanga you are not the victim. Nengo ina mukwano gwo nga mulwadde obanga olina Luganda or your neighbor sobola okubanga ate munnange o tuning in, or you can even tap on your neighbor to tune in to the Alternative Dig Talk kubanga ene emboozi ekukwatirako gwe no ddala. Our quote of the day is, when you meet someone or whenever you meet someone, always seek God kubanga are revealing their intentions to you, their intentions and their character. Let this year be a year of discernment. So every time you meet a new person, go and ask God to reveal their intentions and their character to you. A lot of people we meet out there are not good people. So every time we meet them and we don't care about what their intentions are, tuvaamu nga tubeewadde nnyo oba tubeggulidde nnyo ne batukola obubi. So every time you meet a new person, let it be your boss, let it be a new friend, always ask God for discernment. Asobola okuba nga ate akugulira, akubikkulira, asobola okuba nga akulaga omuntu ono, is he or she a good person, oba nga ate omuntu wakwegendereza. So you know nti ono sirina mugenda nnyo, sirina mugamba byamunda nnyo, omulala n'omweggulira, because we also meet good people nga they have pure intentions for you. So it is very important to seek God for revelations. Asobola okuba nga akubikkulira, akulaga omuntu ono, is he for the good or for the bad, so you know how to relate with them. Very good morning, Madam Rusia. Orikiriza. I don't want to pronounce people's surnames. I have problems with them, so I will pronounce the Rusia, so you pronounce for us the other one. Welcome to the show. It is the Mighty Drive. Please say a very good morning to our viewers, and then we begin the show.
My name is Rusia Orikiriza Bariho.
Rusia Orikiriza Bariho.
Yes.
Wow, you know your man is Tana, so the R disturbs us a lot.
Don't worry, we are one. We are one. And I want to thank the most supreme God and soboseza to kujeno nga ndi ku bigere byange nga ntudde wano ku lwange obadde olina konsana oluganda manyimu lutono so ku bw'obulungi bw'abawuliriza baffe ngenda kugezaako mixing njagala kwebaza Katonda nga even nga bampwedde nga they gave me 1 month, bampa omwezi gumu okubaawo, ndi mu mwaka gwokusatu.
Wow.
By God's grace.
True.
Cancer gye muyita kookolo yali yameketa amagumba gange g'omugongo nenfuuka mulema, ne basitula, ne baliisa, ne banaaza kumala ebbanga ddene. Katonda nansoboseza kukomaawo, and doctors ne bayongayonga nga bibaddemu, nenkomaawo nga ndi mulamu, ndi mugaga kati because ntuula ku lwange. I can breathe on my own. I can lift and swing my fingers ngebyali nga bikomye. So nze I'm very happy to be here and share my story of battling stage 4 cancer, badene kokoro cancer mukaga, and from the badem breast cancer, ganyina spinal cancer, because yange yali stage yokuna nga buli wonawe nga weri baji treating independently because yali eridde from the breast, but I had no pain. Ngebere lyange teryazimba, siyina pain. But mukugenda mu ddwaliro ne bagamba obudde bugenze. So I want to thank everyone, the Ugandans who have prayed with us, who have walked with us this journey. It has not been easy. And cancer navigation is a lonely journey. So, and I committed to the most supreme God that if I come back to this life, I will share my story with the world so that people can know that cancer can visit anyone. Most of the times we all get issues, so that's why I'm here to share my story. And I'm a businesswoman, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm the founder at Oribags Factories, located in Buloba, Mitiana Road, and our shops are in town. So I'm happy to be here to share my story with the audience.
We are blessed to have you. We are actually, the company is blessed, but we, the hosts, are more blessed to have you on set.
Yes.
Do you know when we say that when you have life, you are a rich person? You see, people misinterpret that statement. But if you have not been in a situation where you will have to beg someone to get you something or to lift you to take you somewhere, you do not know what we say when we say that when you have life, you have everything. You are a rich person. Nyaga tutandike mpola mbagambe obi chipping in my Luganda such that you connect this mbozi bulungi nnyo. I want us to begin with when you found out. Wafunako ekyakusparking ogenda mu ddwaliro okulaba nga weekebeza, and what was that stage?
Yali one kumacha ngeri Saturday mu mwaka gwa 2021 nga ndi mu kisenge ne mwami wange kati nga kumacha because Saturday mubanga te muri ku pressure ya kugenda ku mirimo nga muwumuddeko kati nakwata ku bere lyange ne lyamuko left
yes.
Then na feelinga mu ekintu nga kyemuyita bwe kinyusi nga siyina pain na pressing. He pressed it hard but still nambuza, do you feel pain? Nga siyina bulumi yadde kati ne tutakifaako because I had no pain. Ebere lyali nga teririzimbye ne kala ngeri like the right one nga tetukifuddeeko kataawo ne tuyingira mu mwezi gwa December ku mulimu because yeri season yaffe tubeera busy nnyo ku mulimu kataawo ne tugalawo business 23 yali December 2021 ne tugenda mu kyalo up country waffe Kabale mu nnaku nkulu kati bwe twatuukayo nga buli kintu because mubeera ne relatives extended family eyebeera stage ya ssanyu ne tulya sekukulu bulungi ne tubeerayo kutuuka nga January 2022 naku nga 10 twakomawo nga 10th of Jan kukomawo Kampala kati bwe twajja it was a Sunday 16th zalina ku 16 January 2022 kati bawange nagenda ku church na mugongo n'abaana bali Katonda towadde abaana bana kati nagenda n'abala abasatu nensigala waka ne baby because naina baby omuto w'emyezi ng'etaano awo agenda kuweza bamukaaga bamusanva kati nagenda nensigala waka nenfumba because Sunday ntera kufumba kekadde kembeera nako nenfumba njukira yali nkoko n'embuzi mu oven ne potato wedges zine obumonde bwofumba nga bwine ebikuta kati ne bwe nafuma nengamba kandi nde bba wange tulye n'abaana kati kuva mu kitchen nengenda mu sitting room mu ntebe ngoyina kakadde kobeera weka because baby yali ayebase omuwala wange gwembera bwe nali naye waka nagenda nawumulako nga tulinze bali abagenzi ku church kati samanyi omukono gwange bwe gwagenda ku lunebere liri bba wange lyali nga akuuteko kati kiti kintu kye yakwatako oba kye tuyita ekinyusinyusi nga kyayeyongera mu size oba gwali oba because nali nnyo omwenge buli kintu ennyama buli kintu kyonna nga nkirya kati simanyi oba twalya nnyo mu sekuukulu kiri ne kyeyongera mangu simanyi kati nenkwatako but siyina bulumi yadde kati bba wange bwe yakomawo n'abaana ne tulya ne tutambula mu compound gye muyita digestive walk kati awo ne tuddayo mu kisenge ne mugamba dalinge kali kantu ke wakwatako luli ndaba keeyongedde kinene kati but still siyina bulumi kati nakubira gynecologist waffe professor namukubira netukola appointment olujukire twalinga tetunaba n'okukola review y'omwana obwe nalinga nyonsa kati ne darling nakola appointment then netugendayo Monday zali 17th January 2022 kati bwe twatuuka wa doctor nakebera omumanyi oboba oli ng'akamala kuzaala oyagala kulaba uterus genzeyo bulungi emmere kijolya ng'ofuna amata aga baby but also n'otateekako omugejo because already naali muneneko nalinga kilo nga bakyenda mu something kati awo bwe twa doctor nakebera biri ebya uterus wati kati nga tugenda kufuluma omulyango gwa doctor mwami wange nambuuza muragena kiri kyewagambye then doctor narecommende nga tugende tukole scan y'ebbeere ne ovaries oba mu Luganda bakiyita
amaji
then n'amabeere gonna kati netugenda tuyingira mu laabu ne bankebera kati nga tukyali awo ku katanda oyo yali nga nkebera yali PhD student muwala n'agambye nga Rusi oluddewo nga akebera eno wansi then tekyatwala budde wansi like ovaries then n'agenda ku bbere lino ne litatwala budde kati lino omulaba nga adulowinga lines nayetegereza kati bwe yambulira ng'oluddewo nemanyi nentegeera eno cancer kati immediately bakuyita Farida Farida awo nenva mu mbeera nemanyi eno cancer because already nalinga ndabiriddeko one of my maids like 5 years balinga bamuyita Rosemary nga yafa for cancer which was like down and it was very bad so
it was cervical
no it was anal but it had come I think from the breast we didn't know so but I knew byetwayitamu ne Rosemary ku Lubaga bikinga ebyo kati nemanye nange kyenyingirira kati awo nenkwata bba wange nemuhaginga nengamba darling esawa yonna nfa because bw'oba ofunye cancer oba omanyi togenda kuwona and ne stigma eriwo ebeera y'amaanyi va ku biri bye twalinga tugamba mu Kenya which is HIV but the stigma for cancer is on another level. Kati when I grabbed him, by the time we reached the doctor's room, nali nagenda mu depression. Ng'omubiri gwonna
okuva mu lab to
the doctor's room. Ngawo body eri ku fire. Ndete tutakitegeera bw'obeera mu depression y'amaanyi omubiri gwonna gugenda mu bad hormones kati awo nenyingira system endala nengenda mu system ey'okumanyisa wa yonna ngenda mu ntaana doctor n'atuwa ebbaluwa 2 z'okutwala mu further examination emu yali egamba tugende tukole test gye bayita mammogram why they use over high density x-rays ne bakuba mu bbeere then endala n'agamba tetugi openinga tugitwale mu Cancer Institute kati awo the same day ne tugenda kukola test eyo ya mammogram nga tuvaayo nga tukyaliyo ne tutuukayo medical terms nga tetuzitegeera kati bwe twatuukayo abaku reception tebantwaliza bulungi kataawo nendaba buli it was coming to 5 p.m. kati buli muntu ebbaluwa agiwa bali bawala bali ku reception kati nemanye this thing is not good nga ngenda kutuuka ne gye bankubira gye bakolera
X-rays,
mammogram nga mpulira already nga ndi mu state endala my heart negamba already bba wange nani nga mulese mu parking nga asitudde oli bebe waffe kati omutima negugamba oba ngende muyite but already omusajja n'agamba teekako akabeere nze nyagala kufuluma kati awo nengamba this is not good.
That was not good also from the
It was not good, and I want to share. That's why I share my story so that people learn that sometimes what you do can make up a person because these words here, words here, wali mwamaanyi mu bigambo byetwogera. Singa obumu oyinza kubuulira omuntu nga kiri negative but nokipackaginga bulungi because packaging is everything. And netubeera awo nenvaayo nengenda mu parking nensanga mu bba wange ne baby kati nga batuleetera results za mammogram bansanga mu parking because nali nga nyonsa baby nendaba nga bye bawulira bba wange nga bibi nga wagende go and be strong like bamubuulira
bamugamba togwa mu maanyi
so like as if I had already died because
at that time did they give you any medication
no
apart from
that was a test. It is a test to determine how the
damage has gone.
So the next day netukola gye bayita fine needle aspiration bakukubamu empiso mu bbeere ne drawing because naturally I have small breasts. Kati ne bakubamu empiso mu bbeere ne bajja mu sample kweri maasi then ne tudda waka bwe twadda waka the same day ne batukubira because twalinga tukozeeyo from a hospital then ne batugamba tukole test endala ya lymph nodes nkwawa kati ne tugendayo wa pathologist n'akwatamu mu nkwawa ne basangamu obuntu nga buli nga small lemons abwe ne babukebera ne babusanga nga buli cancerous. The next day ne batugamba from what we see cancer yatambudde so ne batugamba tukole test ya CT scan kati ne tukola eyo bakube eddagala ne bakuyingiza mu mashini then ne basanga ne liver yange ekibumba nga kiri mu cancer tumors. So on both lobes atawo buli kintu kyonna as we do that tukola ne tests za blood waliwo ze bayita inflammation buli kintu nga kyonna kiri waggulu everything became red kati awo oba olaba essaawa yonna wagoing and ne bagamba mu budde bwakumpa kimo simusaanira gye bayita chemotherapy because my cancer has already moved.
It was severe.
It was already stage 4. It has already left the
by the time you discovered
yes, it was already stage 4. That how nenva mu bantu I was serving on so many civic and business bodies ebitongole byanachewa like where I used to volunteer. I stepped down but I didn't give them the official reasons. For businesses, I'm a manufacturer, I'm a director, I'm so many things, but nga utebigasa oraba twewa bino bitibwa byensi byetwambaza but bwoba ofunye obulwadde nga buno bwakokolo. There are other complicated illnesses but they don't add value when someone tells you that you have less than a month to live. And for me I even called netuyita photographer byali ebira biri mu bisatu the same
Same
week,
month.
after 1 week of cancer diagnosis, akube ebifaananyi, ndeke memories for my family.
For your
I get a coffin picture, and the same picture which was supposed to be my coffin is this picture you see.
on the book.
Yes, which is now on my cover book. Because I saw I will not manage. I am not going to live, but what do you live? And my husband has been there. Now I didn't change clothes. This sweater you see and this dress, I put on these clothes, I think, for almost 3 months without changing.
What was the reason?
I'm like, anytime I'm dying, bino byolaba makeup, dressing, twambala brands, obyambala nga omubiri gukyalina vibe. Bw'obeera ne vibe, you can put on anything.
Yeah.
And that is the beauty. That's why I tell you, Farida, bw'obeera n'obulamu, celebrate every moment as if it is your last day. I reached a point, I started like somewhere calling God, we reason together. You either give me life, I go to somewhere like in a forest, ebyobugaga byonna bitwale, but mpa obulamu. But God had not decided. And then from there, they said we go on palliative care. But like to do pain management as you wait for your last day.
So now within this week of diagnosis bakulabyemu liver
Tebana
cancer.
bakumpa ddagala.
Toyina naye nga pain yotandise ogiwulira.
Already pain because of depression.
It had come in.
Nenfuna infections, the right opportunistic infections, cough, diarrhea, UTI, because the immunity is down. Kati netuva ku the main thing eye cancer, netutandika treating about UTI, cough, flu, biri kiri ne mukivaako, but still we had not finished the tests. Kyebandi bali nga bayita diagnosis tests. And the liver, the nkwawa. But at that time, tetwakitegeera, the pain I had in the back was also a cancer tumor in the spine.
You used to have back pain?
Yes.
Okay.
So for us, we didn't know. I kept on like
Taking painkillers like I'm doing. I also I also have back pain.
And then
I'm already getting scared.
So sometimes it's not that everything that you have is cancer pain, but what is funny or what is real, the cancer you hear about, mostly it doesn't pain when it is in the first stages until most of it has eaten a part, and then you feel the pain physiologically. Because also my cancer doctor, my oncologist says, by the time you get a tumor and you can feel it, either in like the way they felt mine,
in the breast
for you to feel it with your mere hands, you have stayed with that cancer for many years. You have, like for me, by the time, because mine was like this, like an orange, the cancer had been in the body for many years. And at that time, we have over 10 billion cancer cells in the body. So I kept there, then we went to Easter. I was now in bonus. I had passed the 1 month. So I went to Kabale to tell my parents my status. But my other heart said, don't tell them. But I remember me and my husband, netubatwala out Bunyonyi, Reke Bunyonyi. I had also called 2 of my other sisters who happened also to be there for Easter. I wanted to tell them that I was in bonus and anytime. So even we took a boat ride. These things are all on my TikTok, on my Facebook, on my YouTube. Rusia.
In you wali obasiibula.
But when we reached in the middle of the lake, because my mother refused to get into the boat, I went in with my husband, our children, my sisters and their children, but my mother refused. So my other heart said, you will not tell Daddy alone.
When mommy is the other side.
Yeah, because she's the one who cooperated with my dad to give birth to me.
Yes.
So we kept quiet. We twatuuka where my mom was, we ate the fish.
Enjoyed.
But for me, I would look in the face of my father and my mother. How do you start it? So I even told darling, do not, let's keep quiet. But we had told his family, but in my family, it became very hard. Because being the firstborn,
You are like the pillar of the family.
So netugamba katusirike at the right time. They will either know at the burial. So we came back, and when we came back on 26th of April, we did exercises with my husband. We were doing an exercise called shred and walk with weights. So we would alternate the weights. So as I was almost putting mine down, I collapsed in the sitting room because we were using a laptop. And for us, we didn't know that the other back pain I had, amagumba galinga gaweddewo
Nga cancer
agalidde, but for us we didn't know, because also here mu ggwanga lyaffe waliwo machine gye bayita PET scan ekozesa radioactive medicine, bali kukuba then ne balaba how the cancer has spread. Maybe singa twalinga tugiyina wano balinga bagenda kulaba eri pain time eri gye nalinga nkolera ziri tests. So for us we didn't know, and when I collapsed I became paralyzed. So my husband maybe thought like the tissue or the nerve had twisted a bit, but we didn't know that the other spinal 2 bones had been eaten up. So netubeera awo netugenda mu lwaliro ne bakola long diagnosis. Ne bangamba nyina slip disc prolapse. Wasanga like the bugumba bwekoona. Kati ne bampa treatment nga teyandinsaanidde mu mbeera gye naalimu. But also at that same time nga ndi ku herbals.
They actually gave you a wrong treatment.
Yes, I did. So kati instead of rectifying, we did more harm than good. So until July, when I now collapsed completely. And the body, but that was 3rd of July. Already ngani mu bonus ya miezi 6. Then bawange yali ave kabale ne mukwano gwe ne bafuna akabenje Masaka. Kati ne mukubiranga zali sawa 5 ekiro nga nyagala kumanya atusewa ne bangamba. When I called, then my husband's phone was picked by a lady. N'agamba bawo afunye akabenje tumutwala for emergency n'enkozi. Nga wenye base mu sitting room ojukire nga that time nalinga ndi paralyzed, but I could walk
from the waist over
paralyzed every part. I used to be like this. My shoulders used to touch like here. Because we didn't know that the other space in the spine nga tume maze kumeketa amagumba wagenda kwebanga like the space. So I used to walk like this. So whenever I walked like this, I felt relieved. But if I would relax the shoulders, the pain used to be too acute. So awo katawo omukyala n'angamba bawo afunye akabenje omutima negungamba this is the only guy who has been your caregiver, who has shielded you. He's gone. Because in my heart I was like, if he cannot pick up a phone to talk, that means this person is dead. And immediately nenfuna jetwita diarrhea, nenfuna vomiting, and when all the fluids got off, immediately I became stiff. And whoever came I called some few neighbors to come home. So they are the ones I gave money to go to Ngozi to rescue my husband. And he was returned to home, I think it was 4th. It is the last day I stood. And when I saw him, how he was in this plaster, because and the blood, so immediately I collapsed. And I again stood on 29th August 2022. But in that, it was 5th of July when the doctors advised us to go home because my body had shut down completely. So they said, take the woman and wait for the hour because the lower part had already switched off. It turned black. I still have marks. It turned black. So as we're in the hospital, when I had the nurses tell my husband that the lower part has already switched off, we had reached Clock Tower, those who were in Uganda. And I recall the statements they told my husband
in hospital.
In the hospital, they say, let the lady sign for your letters of administration. Since the hands could still sign, but I could not feel the lower part. And when we reached Clock Tower, I refused to be taken home. I told, darling, you have done your best, but I don't want to go home. Because I knew bwengenda waka bantwala Montana kunzika. Kati nantwala somewhere in Mengo, netubeerayo for 3 weeks. And as we are also there, the situation became worse. And I accepted this time to be taken home and die. So when we reached home, through our friends, we got someone to do like acupuncture. It is like jebazura, but because the other part had already switched off, nebatandika kuzura zura, like to do, they call it acupuncture something. So the person was working on me from home. From this part which could still feel down, the body was like 1,500 kilograms. It was too heavy because I couldn't feel it, because they could only clean me, feed me, and I would stay in one position. And then this cheek shrunk, the left one, and this eye closed. And at that moment, I was not dressing up. I still also want to tell you, sometimes the things we fancy are not necessary when it comes to some. I felt even clothes were too heavy, especially here where I could feel. So I was only putting on the vest of my husband, and these things are also on TikTok, on Facebook. And on 29th August, God performed a miracle. I stood with the support of clutches, with the vest of my husband and a short, a green short. And then when I stood and went out, they took me outside, I saw the natural environment again. Though I couldn't do much, but at least I saw the sun. The kawewo, akokofuna, akoburamu. And then that's when my husband now took me to started preparing to take me abroad for further management. But
sorry to cut you short. In this whole period, had you told the children about the situation that you
no.
Didn't they ask you questions, Mommy?
They would leave me. They were day scholars. They would leave me in the bed. Where they leave me is where they will find me. I just say I would hear. I used to listen, but there are those moments I wouldn't talk. But at least they used to see Mommy in the house, and I didn't want to tell them. Already in the back, somewhere even people started saying it is witchcraft. Others say it is TB of the bones. Then twagezako buli option, every option.
This whole time cancer no wombongo wane Uganda tebamuzola.
Tetunaba.
Atono baby waffe yali ayonka, they advised you mujje ku mabere.
I kept breastfeeding my baby.
Within this whole period?
Yes. Even when the part switched, you see even in the videos.
Even when you couldn't feel your lower body?
Yes, they used to bring her on the side. She would do the breastfeeding.
How about the feeding? Were you able to feed well?
No. I used to get... How God does things, I can't tell. Somewhere, I said to myself, you know, there is the power that is above all of us. I don't know where I got that confidence, but I kept on breastfeeding my baby. I weaned her off at the airport when I was being wheeled on the wheelchair to go in the plane. And so after that standing, then, but in the DCOS, I was also not a cooperative patient. You know, when you are sick, you are in your own ocean. Caregivers are in their own ocean. And sometimes it is very hard for people who look after us. And also this is my advice to anyone grappling cancer and any other tough illness, that sometimes we must also cooperate. And then September, after a few days, we were opening up our factory. We are hosting the former president of Ireland at our factory in a partnership with UNDP. I managed to go there and make a speech, but I went with the doctors. So I would have a doctor at the back too, and my husband. So I gave a speech. And after immediately giving the speech, the presidential convoy exited the gate. I collapsed. So when I collapsed, I was in a coma, and they baptized my baby, our last born, when I was in the recovery room. In the same gate, I missed Mass. I missed baptism of my last born. And towards in the night, around 10 p.m., I came back to life. Then from there, that's when my husband organized to take me to India for further management. Because of the issues we had gone through, ofuna eddagala lya herbalist, ofuna bakugamba mwine edogo bamungayita amayembe, byonna ne mubikola.
Awo mu ddwaliro bali batandise okuwa medication.
Already mu ddwaliro batugamba batusiibula.
They only gave you medication ey'okukuuma pain.
For pain management. But bw'oba olina obulamu ng'olaba oli ku age, you will try everything. I took herbal medicine. People prayed, some said I had mayembe, abamu ne bagamba bakologa. But I want to tell you, cancer is not witchcraft. And this is what, in Africa, we still, yes, there are people who I don't believe in that, but I want to tell you, we got so much, you know, people, bakugamba ng'oli bulungi, kati ng'olwadde ne cancer. You see, like when I talk about my story, I want to encourage that person that even people who will be close to you will not understand you. They will say you have witchcraft, they will say what, but I want to tell you, when we went to the airport, my husband took me on his laps from here to Sharjah. We went with an airline called Air Arabia. And he took me on his laps from Entebbe to Sharjah, from Sharjah to Kochi on his laps because I couldn't sit. And when we reached there, we found when the ambulance was waiting for us at the airport, and I was an emergency. They did all the diagnosis. They repeated everything, and there are these things we don't have here.
Machines and everything.
And they confirmed that there is no technology they can use to regrow the eaten up bones other than giving me implants. So I was prepared, and on 31st October 2022, I underwent a spine surgery that lasted 10 hours, and I was given implants to make me stand and do what I'm doing at the moment. And from there I went into the ICU for some days, and God performed miracles. Doctors cooperated with the most supreme God, and I stood again.
In India, twagenda ne bawa feka.
Oyeka.
The family, your family.
My family nganeka sina bakubagamba nga nyina cancer.
But they know oli mulwadde.
Bamanya ndi mulwadde. So immediately after ngani mu ICU, you will ask yourself why I'm here. It's not the money, it's not the networks, but I made an oath. Nengamba Katonda bw'onampa chance n'onkomyawo, I will tell the world that you still do wonders and miracles. So me coming here, these are promises I must fulfill, that I tell people that even when you are rubbed off by the world, He can still bring you back to life. I lost bones. God gave me a chance, and I'm here. I lost the physical body from 92 kilograms to 41 kilograms. Nga basitulamu, nga tuli eyo ne India nga bamaze kukola ebyo byonna byenkubuulidde. I used to be lifted in a bed cover so that I don't break, because I had what they call osteoporosis. Like bone density was in red. Even bwe bamala kukola eyo surgery, you have those effects of the surgery, but also ne bakola gye bayita targeted radiation. Bakukalirira eri bankalirira ku mugongo. That body had to die. It turns black, like here. When you hear radiation, those who have not got, they use high density X-rays to the affected part. That part has to die, and you get a new body. But also, you get effects in the whole system. So this is why I normally tell people that the one who fashioned my organs gave me back the tissues, the cells, the muscles, the bones, and I'm again on my feet. That one doesn't work like man. Because if he worked like man, I wouldn't be alive. True. And love heals cancer. Do you know someone loving you? I want to credit my husband. Spousal support. Even when I had lost everything, he still assured me of his love. Wow. And I want to tell you that true love heals. Sometimes love is not maybe from a spouse, but it can be from a relative. You see, when you are in an ocean like cancer, there are so many chronic illnesses at the moment. What you need is a positive statement from your loved one that you can make it. Like when my husband used to assure me that we shall get there. We are working for a testimony. And I can assure you, he has been with me in the deep oceans of cancer. That's why I tell you that words heal. And ever since I became public with my cancer story, I've met so many cancer patients in Uganda and beyond. And I want to tell you, cancer is not a death sentence. So that's when you get to see that another person went, others call me Sabarwanyi, others call me miracle. But I tell you, when you open up, you discuss your deep concerns, you see others having gone through what you have gone through, you inspire. For me, I may not give money because I have some, but the riches I have, this air we breathe, telling you that the time I was in ICU, looking at people dying, being wheeled to the mortuary became very normal. You were there, in all of you in the ICU, you were on the support of machines. You see people dying. You see, like, I wouldn't turn so much, but like those people in front of me, or I wouldn't like turn the head a bit. You see people dying. And I was the only black at that moment on that ICU floor. You see people dying. They are taken. Some would, before they pass on, they call their relatives to say bye-bye. And I imagine I was with my husband in a foreign country.
Only the two of you.
Two of us. And I can assure you, God was at the center. Even like every time my husband made a call, even after the ICU, when I went into the room, a love song welcomed me into the room. You see, I danced 99% of my life, but that was not my lifestyle. But let me tell you, the music heals. And then that's when I told him what I had also committed to the most supreme God as I was in the ICU. And miraculously, I found most of the things I promised to God are the same things he was promising to the Maker. That sometimes we must use our painful stories to bring courage, to inspire, to motivate. Mine is no longer a painful story. I've turned the pain into purpose. And that's when we started drawing a Thanksgiving list for our Thanksgiving, which happened last week. I started envisioning Rusia testifying, and I'm doing it now. There is power in positive imaginations. When you start imagining a positive end, the subconscious mind takes you at your word. And we are what we think, what we do, and that is the state of being. And for me, I want to assure you that there is no incurable disease in this world. There are only incurable patients. Who knew that Job in the Bible? For me, I'm a Christian. I believe so much in the word. Who knew what he was suffering from? If his body was oozing pus, blood, it could have been cancer.
And everything was taken away from
And these miracles we read about in the Bible, where God healed the blind with mud. The medical doctors might find me like irrelevant on that point, but I want to tell you there are things that the most supreme God left to be his own. We can't work
He's
like
doing, he's making.
even me, because I remember also when you read also in the Bible, you are a reader, read about Abraham, the wife conceived at
90.
and above, and that was past men of that.
Way.
So the way how God does his things, that's how I wanted like to summarize my cancer story for you. That now, even after so many, I've done medical reviews. My spine is clear from cancer.
Your liver is clear.
My liver is 100% okay.
The breast
is okay. My lymph nodes.
Was it cut off?
No,
It wasn't.
it wasn't.
India twamalayo bangaji.
Twamala emyezi, we went in October, we came in December 2022. Then again, but when I came back, their lifestyle adjustments I was advised to do.
Okay.
And they advised, we saw both conventional and integrative. Integrative, they mix. And then I was advised to start walking bare feet. I do bare feet in a natural man, God-given environment. I do deep breathing, I think 30 times a day. I do meditation, you take yourself in that space of abundance, so that you build the body from cellular level. And I do that in the wild. Even when you check on my TikTok, Lucia, you will see that I'm more in the wild, because they had to rewire my body from cellular level. And you can only do that with quality air.
Yes.
Positivity is priceless, and they do not prescribe it. So positivity, I do it like now as I'm sharing, I'm not thinking about my condition. So that means I'm starving the cancer cells, even if they are there, to commit suicide. So the more you are stressed, the more you give fuel
To the cancer
that's
cells
what my
in the body.
doctor in India says, because I have been having almost 80 oncologists, because my cancers had to be dealt independently. The liver, the spine, the sacrum, the pelvis, the lymph node. So they tell you that if you are to live, life is priceless, so you have to cooperate. Forget about how I used to be an cooperative patient, how I used to give hard time to my husband, who was my caregiver. You must cooperate. And then intentional onco-nutrition. I eat, even if you check my post, I go in the kitchen, I cook in the compound, so that people know, they walk the story with me. So I only eat beans and peas and G-nuts once a week. And the G-nuts must be locally pounded in a local mortar. The beans or the peas must be organic, but must also be boiled. But before I put the beans in my stomach, I must eat a whole big plate of vegetables, which are also organic. So I first overdose on vegetables. After vegetables, I eat the legumes, and then I put a carbohydrate, where I eat the steamed matoke with its jacket. If I don't have a matoke, I eat a pumpkin. If I don't have a pumpkin, I eat a sweet potato also with its jacket. Because we are looking for fiber. Because they said from now and onwards, no processed foods, no processed meats, no dairy, no soft drinks. The process. I don't eat anything processed, because I love to live. I want to see my children
grow.
I want to celebrate the moment. I have to cooperate. And it's a journey. It's a journey. Then I also, while still on my sick bay, I also composed a cancer story, an awareness song, which is also on YouTube, so that people know, they see the journey, how I have walked the journey. I also had promised God to document my story, and that recently I also published a cancer, my book that looks at my life as a child, in school, in business, and the journey of cancer. And it is Cancer Ate My Bones, God Preserved My Spirit. And to me, life is relevant when you meet people, you share, and that's how I celebrate every moment and be happy.
Yeah. Wow.
Be happy. I never used to be intentional on these moments. And I think for me, cancer really, it gave me another purpose to live. And I'm now living my life purposefully. Yeah.
Now, the documenting and videos that you've been seeing right now.
Yes.
How did you decide on taking them? Did you
I-
agree with your husband or
yes.
at the first stages?
From the beginning, when he bought for me some motivational books, some audio books, I picked the component of positivity, but I knew somewhere I also had this concern, I might not make it. So I told my husband to document everything. In case I don't make it, he should give that accountability to my children and to the world.
Wow, that was
So-
a big task.
Yeah, so every moment, even when I was coming from ICU, he
would
took
take
a
a
picture.
video.
If you see on my TikTok, on my Facebook, on my YouTube, I put everything. I said, document everything so that people get to know whether I'm where. I document. Every day I write. Every day I write, because there is power in writing, but also it helps you to bring all of that katogoyu bw'obeera nabwo mu bwongo bw'oteeke ku lupapula omuntu ategeere olowooza ki. And I want to tell you, like, somewhere when I was undertaking treatment, I lost the memory. Ebyo bibeerawo, obwongo buwunga n'otategeera n'abali kuli ku side. And writing helped me. So as they were trying to bring me back, also writing was very, very key. Because I think in Africa, in our country, we don't write so much.
True.
The reading and writing culture tena sinking nyuma.
And sometimes that's why now I bring in, when we don't also invest in these areas, we end up being chronic dependent on what is authored and written by other people. Even in the business, as I've told you that we manufacture, we do packaging, bags and boxes, and paperboard. I want to tell you, I had always traversed Asia for business visits with my husband, our team, especially in India and China. When you see how people are intentional in their countries, we need to go an extra mile.
Yes.
That's why you see they dictate the forces of demand and supply. You go to downtown. Yes, most countries have mastered some of our countries to be consuming continents, which shouldn't be the case. And I think we reach a point where we must get out of the comfort zone. And we try our best, because also when you go, I'm happy most of our officials here visit these countries.
They do.
For you to reach somewhere, even as the alternative media, there are some things you do intentional to keep afloat. So when you look from, like, these countries, I always, every time, even when I'm on these trips, I have been to so many countries, over 30 countries of this world. But you see, people are intentional. We have some things we can do as a country, and which would be our competitive advantage, and it is something that we must bank on. Otherwise, we reach a point where we have people coming to patent some things which are indigenous. We own as that is our indigenous power, indigenous knowledge.
Yeah.
So when you reach, there are some things like when under processing, under manufacturing, value addition, services, industry, there are things that we also have to go an extra mile. And this is what I also do aside, like coaching, entrepreneurship, or enterprise development, because we become more better, more relevant when we share, we mentor, and to me, networking is priceless.
Yeah.
Even in this world of cancer, it found us with a network, so it became easy to, when you open up, you can't stay the same.
Yeah.
Even in business, when you want to stay on your own, you are too insignificant that people will not feel you.
True.
Like I remember when I started the business, I was a university student at Makerere University, but I had done several businesses before Makerere University.
Okay.
I have done pineapples because my father is a pineapple grower. I used to support my mother in local brewing business, which she still does up to today. We used to supply food to the refugees during the 94 to 96 Rwanda genocide. And from there, I worked with my mom, and she's the one who gave me the skill of making bracelets, bangles, earrings, and which I had to upgrade when I was at Makerere University with so many things. And then from there, that's when I entered the Uganda Industrial Research as an in-house incubator to do product development using wastes. So wastes including agricultural wastes like cotton waste, rice straws, sorghum straws. And then out of the wastes and fibers, that's when we focused on key raw materials, the boxes. We recycle waste of biofiber grade, and we do package, we do the paper, which makes the books you carry, the box files, which we call paperboard. And then we also develop and make boxes where Oribags does eco-friendly packaging boxes in over 500 designs. And then we do bags. And I can tell you, we didn't start at that, at boxes and paperboard. When you are an entrepreneur, you must allow to be validated by feedback. So I used to go to exhibitions, you go for like these shows, and then people give you their honest feedback. If you don't go back to the drawing board and change, your innovation, your idea will become obsolete. So to me, I value that when you are an entrepreneur, you constant innovation and creativity is a must. Even you, Farida, what you did 10 years ago is not what you're doing. So that means there is a shift in the tastes and the preferences of your life. So for me, also in this cancer, both business and cancer, life is not static. It's a continuous move. So you must make sure that you keep relevant, so that you optimize the resources. But network is key. Continuous addition, value addition, creativity, and then relearning, reprogramming, and which has also helped me in my cancer journey, so that if you can do it for the business, then also your lifestyle must change. I found out that I was working too much. I never used to rest. So you find now, I wake up, after my exercises, I dance. Okay? Because I must start the day on a positive vibe. And I've danced to, I think, over 45,000 songs across the world. I don't know how many songs I've danced. As long as the beats are good, I will dance. Even our miracle baby, she will wake up now. I don't call it addiction because I celebrate them.
It is a lifestyle we have created.
Yes, that's now a new lifestyle I've created. I will dance, Farida, and dance.
Till we get tired.
Because God gave me the legs again.
Yeah.
I will dance. And I know when I finally go to Him, I will tell Him that, thank you for giving me the legs. And thank you for giving me these organs again. They had switched off. You give me them. And I know I will hug Him hard. Wherever He is, I will hug Him. And for me, my advice to people is to be, yes, too intentional in terms of lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because also, it's, I don't call it medical tourism when we go to these countries, because most of the things I've done them here, bikoledde wano. Sikugamba ngu bwogenda eri bakuteekamu ebintu, then not all the day you will go to the hospital.
Yeah.
And there are those moments because of cancer treatment jemba demo body reacting nnyo either to the medicine gw'obaddeko, because mbaddeko chemo, mbaddeko radiation, nkoze surgery, all the cancer treatments nze nzimazeeyo. But this is what I want to tell you. There are moments ozuukuka ng'olina ekirala ekikuluma. Can you bear the pain? So I always tell the mind, calm down, I'm the captain. Calm down, and I will even not tell my husband, and I will deal it. When I'm going to sleep, I submit to the subconscious mind. I tell the body, God, take over, you handle, tomorrow morning I will be well. I sleep in peace, and I wake up in joy.
Yeah.
So this is also something that, also everyday life.
Yeah.
When you feel you want to be negative all the time, that's what you harvest. I used to work too much, but now I cannot. There are things I can't do physically.
Yes.
I can't bend. There are some things I can't.
You can't lift.
I can't jump, but I can walk. And even for me, when the world is striving for perfectionism,
Yes.
I'm celebrating the new Rusia.
Yeah.
I may not have some things, but I think God knows I will be what I am without them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes also in life, when we lose some things, you lose a friend, or you lose a business deal, ogenda wongoye kwenyamirira.
Yes.
But sometimes, for how long can you worry?
Yeah.
Okay? So sometimes I'm like, Lucia, you should be happy. I am happy. I have vibe. So these things, like, sometimes I also forget about that I have been a cancer fighter.
Yeah.
Katunulireko ku Oribags. This time you are in India. Ani alabirira Oribags company eno kubanga ekyaliwo. Did it close down? Mwaliwo abantu abagitambuza?
The business is for good. So by the time I fell sick, I think he knew that you will reach a point, because the curve is not straight.
Yes.
You will reach a point, this business will feed you, and you will not be there. I want to thank him that at least there were some systems. It's not that everything was
Managed by you and the husband.
the system, and I want to thank the Oribags team. Do you know, leave alone the things of saying that you're the founder, you're the things I told you, these are things we find here, and again we are temporary users. So the team managed the business,
When you were away.
and no one left. No one left, and I want to thank the team in production, the team in product development, in administration, in sales. I want to thank you. because even now I don't go to the business every day, but they work.
The team works.
The people we started with, you know, there is a point we must also appreciate when we go in the background and we let other people work. And for me, if I had not tested that before, the business by the time would be back, it would have closed. But I want to thank them. The team worked till today. And we also want to thank our customers because there are so many choices out there, and people continue to support us. Going to our shops, ordering. It's not that we are the only
people making those things.
People import, but we also want to thank, because what we make, we don't consume it ourselves. Yeah.
Wow. Now, I would like for us to go back a little bit on the journey of cancer. We've seen some people bebagamba nti okay ina cancer oli ku stage 4 abamu nga n'enviiri zivuddeko. Is it because of the medication oluusi gye bafuna?
Actually, the enviiri zivaako ng'okoze treatment.
Okay.
Bwe bakuwa eddagala, because the most of the disease, the cancer medicine we have, it doesn't separate a sick cell and a healthy cell.
Etwala zonna namne
N'endwadde esooka n'ezokya, and then the body rebuilds.
Wow. So
nange zaavaako, but I have my hair.
mu bifaananyi
Olabe waliwo wendi ne bba wange nga tuli waka nga tulina obwana nga tukyali wano, because we are combining so many
So
things.
zaavaako ng'okyali wano.
But awo twabikola nga tumixing herbal medicine, ezimu tuyimportinga some.
But talking of herbal yayinako any positive impact to your health? Katugambe nti oba yankwatiriramuko oba ki?
because you mixed wano na wano.
Eya wano, first of all, it is not developed. Herbal yaffe ekola yandibadde ekola bulungi, but kyenjagala kukugamba wano tugitwala nga nagikuwa akutwalamu nga akuteeka eyo mu nkukutu. Aba alinga akuyaba but alimu kukuba but takuwa. We don't, our herbal industry is not developed.
Yes.
It is not like the branding. When I look at the whole thing, it's not branded. You don't see the nutritional value.
Yeah.
The prescriptions. Our medicines can work. They can work, but we need further research, further value addition.
Tomanya bafumbi emiti emeka
Because for example, kankuwe example nga ya turmeric. Turmeric, echinechinzari.
Yes.
It plays a big role, but akakoramu mu chinzari bakaita curcumin. Even me I import curcumin. That curcumin promotes the cancer cells to commit suicide, but you must do it in combination with other things, because I take it after eating food. But woba unywe echinzari choka, I'm not a doctor. I'm giving you with my
your experience.
But even the medical cannabis I take, it's medical cannabis. I take it with when I'm going to eat, but it is not the one which makes you hyper. So wano oyiza ugambo tibatubulide tunywe bikola byenjayi, then you overdose. And I wouldn't want to go into that. But what I would want to assure you, if for example we do team and in the future maybe you never know, it can be my new line of business. But I have to do it with the right people.
The right people.
So here, the herbals, people, we must improve. And again, babikuwanga balinga abawangoli, like you are in a which form, which is not good. We must really improve. Ebyaffe bwebiri bikora.
Yes.
But engeri gye tubitwalamu, because already tubadde tulina stigma, kati bw'ogendayo akulaba otidde nnyo, kati nawe akwekwatira ofuuka source of income nga tayagala akulekule ogende. Because even me, when, for example, after the treatment, if I take it, like when I take my tablet, the conventional tablet, they tell you wait for an hour, take the other one. The integrative, which builds now the system after you taking the and there you see, even when you see some countries, the things, they have parameters, they work with their, like for example, National Drug Authority of a certain country. They don't do things in isolation. They even pay taxes, but because it's somewhere like here, omuntu tayaga akufunye munkukutu ayagala kikuwere munkukutu
osigale ng'oli customer.
Osigale ng'oli customer ng'ebimu abeera batebyandikoze, because for example, like for my case, singa wamu nga omuntu akubeera n'agenda mu bugeerufu n'akugamba with your cancer habo tekukolera yokka twetaagako n'eri, because there is no habo they would give me ngeeta amagumba. But in our journey waliwo ofuna nakugamba eddagala lyenkuwa limenye egumba kati lirina ne capacity ya kuteekako egumba eripya. Oba ontekereza kati olabaawo oyaba mubi. And this is also what I want to the assurance I want to give to cancer patients. Even if you are pushed to the world, this is why we want to we share cancer healing circles under the Rusia Bariho Integrative Cancer Care, which we launched recently with the Prime Minister Emeritus Rugunda the other weekend during our Thanksgiving. We team up even now as we are celebrating World Cancer Day on 4th of Feb. It is something that we are now opening up. We have this program with the Love Heals Cancer India, and we are doing this as a partnership so that we can support people to seek. They can't give you any supplement when you have not showed your medical documents. And again, they send you to do, if it needs a scan, you have to do a scan. They also talk to your doctor. And you don't do things, we no longer want people, cancer patients, to do things in hiding, because majority die there because we fear to open up because people are going to laugh at us. But also you are fearing omuba kugamba bwogende eri doctor owamala gwe nakitegeera agenda kunkola bubi omanyi nze nkuwa eddagala erikola. We have seen those cases which we wouldn't want our people, because we must impact lives with real stories, with things that work. If things don't work, then there is also, you know, also dying when you're at peace is also important.
It's also important, true.
Because there are those cancers, you know, that this is not, there is no chance to live. And also a person must be assisted to accept, and you have a peaceful death.
Let's talk about the financial bit as we close this whole story of cancer. Sente zaali zitya as in this whole journey kuva waneno wotandikidde, they have identified you have cancer up to India. Sente wotubalira baliramu. Journey yali etya in terms of the expense?
It was very expensive. Because for me, I had to undergo surgery, a major surgery, the spinal surgery, and the cost of implants made my treatment very expensive. And friends we have some key friends,
Yes.
and the greater family of my husband played a key role. Actually, what we went with when we were going to India, we thought it could really push us, but when we reached there, they kept on sending until we came. There are those friends who you are, because we have friends from different parts of the world. They would send on my husband's account, and we kept receiving. And now what we receive is what we use to feed some of the cancer patients here in Uganda.
Okay.
We buy food. I always go to the Cancer Institute. I feed. I grow food. I feed. I also have friends who continue to give me beddings, reusable diapers, because there are those whose surgeries go long, and they can't always buy the disposable diapers, because sometimes they can't, when it is breast cancer, sometimes they do also remove ovaries, and there are those where you find when it is hormonal related.
Yes.
That's why you use, so there are those whose surgeries don't go well. Then I also have cancer centers which we partner with. Like now we have centers in Ijinja, the SD Palliative Cancer Care Center, and we have in Mbarara. We have also patients from different parts of Uganda, but also me as a person, my story, I have an audience from over 90 countries. And cancer is not here in Uganda alone.
Yes.
So I have people from all parts of the world, and we continue to share. We are partnering with the key institutions to do even studies, for example, on toxicity of the foods and vegetables on the market. And do you know that if you eat fruits and vegetables that are full of pesticides, you increase the chances of cancer?
Wow.
Yes, because cancer follows acute inflammation in the body. I'm doing this in partnership with so many integrative institutions that handle cancer. We also have teams of oncologists, teams of onconutritionists, so that, because when you're a cancer patient, even you who is not sick, you must be intentional on the food choices you make, because most of the foods we have on the market have a lot of pesticides. And when you eat a vegetable whose toxicity level is high, remember you also have cancer, and when your body is having cancer, the toxicity, the inflammation, where we normally do that test called CRP, you find the percentage is very high. Again, you put in a vegetable that is sprayed, you make, that is like disaster in the body. When you eat fruits after food, you are causing the gut, like that's why you see we have colon cancer, stomach, so many cancers at the moment because of lifestyle.
It is not advisable to eat fruits after food.
No, if you even people who attended our function, we had a fruits bar. You eat fruits first, and then the stomach is ready to receive the vegetables. Then you put the meats, you put the other things.
But does not eat.
But for us, we were not taught. We know when you're in Kampala, you eat everything.
So does that mean ebintu byolya obyerimira?
Kati nabyerimira. But at first we used to, because I have a team of border borders also whom I want to thank on this show, who would even travel past Mukono to go and look for some foods
that are organic.
But like now they...
So you don't spray your
No,
garden
if
and
I'm to
everything?
spray, I use rabbit urine.
That's all you use?
But also, we are going to reach a point, because now there is, I can call it a food crisis. Not in Uganda alone.
In the whole world.
In the whole world, you find you cannot get an organic food. And when you even look, you read in the Bible, some things, this body, the air we breathe, is the same air that the plants breathe. So if we keep doing completely opposite, the more complicated illnesses we are going to have. Yes, when cancer is in advanced, you need conventional approaches. But you cannot be on conventional approaches alone. That's why you reach a point, we have cancer patients at the moment, survivors, whose recurrence is due to that. After finishing the treatment, you go back to your old lifestyle. Cancer comes back. Or you even you finish the treatment, and then in the middle they tell you that your cancer is now resisting the treatment. So what do you do? That means what body wetuka negamba nkoye. So these are the things we need to compare notes and with different stakeholders, and the more we discuss about, I think ever since I became public now, at least now, people can but even me as a person, cancer was like, bobulira omwana wo agenda kutuuka ku ssomero agamba banne mama ni mulwadde wa cancer, kati batandike kumukola stigma. Okitegeera? But also like now, for me, I don't. For me, even if you, because what when Peter, abamu bampita kali kachala ka cancer, it is okay.
But you survived.
I survived.
Yes.
And I'm living my life.
A healthy life.
A healthy life, a purposeful life. I work. I am an employer. But for me,
when and someone had written saying you can starve cancer by not having these sweet things.
You see, like I don't take sugar, I don't take dairy products, I don't take fizzy drinks, no microwave food, no fridge food. I live like other man in the city.
Like enga muchalo bwe twabeeranga.
Because my cancer doctor was very clear. You see, the way I eat, still there is also a weight I cannot go beyond, because my things, my implants cannot carry what I will add on. But also a bigger body is not good, because you see, when you eat, for example, my doctor says cancer thrives in a sweet body. I can call it a sweet body. In the medical terms, they call it acidic body, because that's why they say, Rusia, make sure your body is alkalized daily, because I start my day with alkalized water. Like now, I haven't eaten anything.
Yes.
I last ate my supper yesterday at 4. Sometimes I am not supposed even to eat past 6. But sometimes you find you are in an area where maybe most of the times they bring my food where I am, but most of the times I'm at home or I'm at the workplace where I cook. Or if I'm in a far place, I will go with my carrot, avocado, flax seeds, or the chia seeds. I have my lienvu and apple. If I know that I don't want to bother people, because what I eat, they cannot.
Yes.
So I know, and again, everything had to change. I don't use perfumes. I don't use lipstick. I don't use dye. So you because the more, even the toothpaste.
You don't? Yes.
No. I use the carintons, much corruptus. So I do, because they say, for example, for me who has been having 6 advanced cancers, I can tell you life is priceless. So my perfume is a lemon. I cut, I put, that is my lemon. If the shoes, because if I'm in a place where I know that I don't put on shoes. Then the underwear, I don't put on colored underwear, because when you sweat or when you're walking, and then the dyes that make that underwear, for example, for us ladies, your fluids will get in touch with the dye. There are chemical processes that will take place down there with high temperatures, so I must put on. Then there are those moments, even my doctors, like the time when I had finished radiation, they tell you, you don't dress. Because when you dress, the wounds take long to heal, but also you must leave the body to heal. So that's why I don't put on tight things, whether it is a dress, because also of my spinal part, but they say the tighter, for example, the jean, the knicker. That's why you see, even when you go to our cancer institutes here, we have children with cancer that is not in genes. Cancer today is not most of the cancers is not about genes. But sometimes we would reach the hospital, they ask you, wama wali wayalenga afunye cancer. Wogambako obomubakuwa nedagala lye bandi badde batakuweereza, but they have based on your answer. But for me, when they did the tests, the cancer is not about the genes.
So they discovered what was the cause of your cancer.
So their tests they do under immunohistochemistry, the receptor tests. So they say my BRCA is negative. Even when you look on my diagnosis sheet, which I used to go with, like an ID, which you have to present at every airport point, when they said that my gene status is negative, so that means if it had been positive, n'abaana bange bali bagenda kufuna, ne sisters bange nabo bagenda kufuna. So it was also a big milestone. So here sometimes we do test to treatment. You are basing on what has been there. So sometimes bofuna doctor ngali nga tabifaako nebafuura mwaka nyusi bakugamba olaba cancer tulisaleko. Even if you cut the breast but you don't do those tests, the cancer will come back. That's why we have so many survivors tebalina amabeere, bwe bamala kugasalako the cancer comes back.
Because they tell you it has already spread in another breast way.
Yes, but also sometimes bagajjako nange balinga bagala kugajjako gona, but netu bwe twasanga ngesa genze wona ndowooza ne bagamba nange nengana. Even if they had cut off my breasts, but you see I had already cancer in the spine,
in the back, and then the liver,
in the pelvis bones. So still cutting was not going to help. So you find when you are a surgeon, chengamba bobera medical surgeon, which is an error in our African countries. You find surgeons are leading the cancer drive. Bogenda yo na feeling amwe chintu nali sala. I want to tell you that is an error. You must see an oncologist. An oncologist alabeli eberelyo mukore blood work, mukore the tests bobo, because obumutu gamba sigenda kugenda yo, because obotide surgeon wakola bamunga source of income. And surgery has money. So it's better you first, that's why we become open, so that we share our stories. There's so many people with now their cancer stories documented because of my story. You get it?
Yes.
So now every day we have people who come as new alumni. So bworaba receptor test yo bairi negative or positive, ogenda kolaba ya Rusia eri negative or eri positive, omubuze wagenda wa. We don't want people to make decisions in silence, because whether you want it or not, if cancer is having a relationship with hormonal, because even my cancer doctor says it is a grave mistake for children, especially girls, to receive contraceptives which are hormonal below the age of 20 years. Because their bodies, their breasts develop, there are some developments that will happen in the breast tissue due to the synthetic things that are in the oral contraceptive, and they will grow in the fatty tissue, in the breast fatty tissue, which has a role it plays in cancer. Because ebibintu bibeera mu bbeere, yes, I hope you understand.
Yes.
Kati bibeerayo, and as long as a toxin, remember that thing is external, it is a toxin. As long as something, even when it is a toxin is either from an industrial waste or from the environment, as long as it is seated in the breast tissue and it is not detoxified from the body, it stays there. Whether it is 5, 10, 20 years, it will pop up either as cancer, because it is not supposed to be there. And that's why I also want to, when you're also going to do any family planning, when you are ready, you must always also do it with the professionals. You first see how your body functions. You look at those blood works, the immunohistochemistry. You
they give you that one that is compatible with your
yes,
body.
with your body. But that's why you find, if you have been on family planning, when you're on family planning and you're going to go for the details of Adam and Eve,
Yes.
the details of co-creation, you find your body is like switched off. You don't feel. So that means your body is not functioning the way it should.
Yes.
And that should be a reason for you to go an extra mile and do check-up.
Okay, nga tumaliriza njagala tudde wano katabo tukasanga waka sente meka.
Akatabo kano ka Cancer Ate My Bones, God Preserved My Spirit. It is at Equatorial Mall, shop 509. This is how it looks like. And in here, it's a whole, it's a package. It's not about cancer alone. It talks about my business journey. It talks about my courtship, my love life, because I've also been loved by the best.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a copy is at 60,000 Uganda shillings. And also for orders, we can share the contact.
You can deliver.
We also do deliveries in Kampala, and the delivery is free of charge in Kampala. Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is the book, Cancer Ate My Bones, God Preserved My Spirit. And it has your journey and everything.
Yeah.
The copy is at 60,000.
60,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
It has been a wonderful journey, I believe. There is a lot that we've not talked about. The challenge part, the challenges you encountered and everything.
For me, all the challenges, they are there, so many, but they don't define me anymore.
Yes.
All those are testimonies. And sometimes also when we skip in the comfort zone, we don't know what you can become and what you can exploit from your resilience. So for me, it is keeping hope alive. Sometimes we get so many issues, not cancer alone, at a personal level,
a lot.
a couple issues, marriage challenges, but above all is staying afloat with the inner will to live. Courage. Courage is priceless.
And hope.
Positivity.
Yeah.
So for me, all is, I think, a testimony.
Okay, sibulaba tulabye olunaku lwa leero. Your last two remarks.
My last remarks to first my cancer survivors and thrivers across the world. We go through so much, but we must embrace positivity in everything. We must keep hope alive, and sometimes what we go through does not determine our destiny. And then to the married, you keep loving each other. as if there is no tomorrow, because you don't know what will come the next morning. And celebrate every moment with your loved ones. And to me, family is everything, because love heals, and people are like warmers. So we need to, even when you have your colleagues, let the love be real. Let the hugs be genuine. In our days, sometimes some things are so plastic. Someone will mean this, but the intention is different. But that cannot, when it comes to healing, it doesn't heal. So let the hugs be genuine. If you give someone a gift, let it be genuine. If you are having your loved one, let it be genuine. If you have money and it is a family business, or it is your money you work for, enjoy it with your people, because sometimes these Visa cards don't save us. Yeah, it's we are saved by genuine hearts. And for me, that's what I can tell people. And I thank the Most Supreme for giving me this life again, so that I can come and share my imperfections with the world, but also to tell the world that He still does miracles even when the world has given up on you. So keep going.
Thank you so much. Throughout this whole show, you have been referring to your husband as darling. Could we please know the sweet name of that darling, so that we can be able to thank him?
My darling, my husband is Davis Bariho Agamuhonda, and the one that God prepared for me in His divine order.
We want to thank Mr. Bariho, David, for the care and for not giving up. You know, a lot of us give up. But we want to thank you for being there for her and being her hope, giving her that undiluted love. Thank you so much. If it isn't genuine, why are you still there? Give people genuine love. Wala tomwagala muleke omuntu omulala amwagale, such that we can learn from her story. Love heals. You know, you can be in a very bad situation, but you have someone who genuinely loves you. So baberanga, they are the people you bank on. At least in Nono. So when I let's love genuinely. If you are not ready to love genuinely, let people be. Thank you so much for watching us. For ate pakano wetuwonzikira show ya feyo lunaku lwa leero. Mukama Katonda nga yagadde mujja kutulabako ku Oribags. We are going to be live there nga tulaba how her story began mpaka kati webali business etambula. So the story is not ending here. We are going to be following up because abantu bangi nnyo bali ba victims of cancer and bavudde ku nsi. Yalina business oba yali akola yavuwa ku mulimu kati ali isolated and people don't know what is wrong with them. So ebintu bingi nnyo we shall be bringing them one eno tubeere nga ate toyigira wama. I want to thank my team benkoze nabo lunaku lwa leero. Mukyala Teddy Tenjo nabokera ku kamera, omukulu Mukosayano Anthony mu control room. Mwebale nnyo muli bakozi balungi doza sinkana olunaku lw'enkya esaawa zigenda kubeera 2 ez'okumakya. Mbagaliza olunaku olungi. Have yourself a good day.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.